Hello everyone, welcome to Git Crash Course. So this is kind of a refresher course or a beginner course in which you will learn some basic and some most popular Git command, and also I will try to include as many demo as I can. As this is a crash course, I won't be able to provide the illustration of all the commands in the Git. Okay, so if you want to learn more about Git in depth, then please go ahead and navigate to my Git full administrative course, so for which I have provided the link in my description. Okay, so let's move ahead. So what's in this course for you? So first you will have some introduction about Git, and then you will understand what is Git and what is GitHub. Then you will see installation on Windows and why Windows need Git pass to be installed. Then we will initialize our first Git repo. So in repo, it stands for repositories. So Git uses a repository as a file structure for its files. Okay, so basically all the files, all the commands, all the scripts will be stored in your Git repository, and the Git will do their work on that repository itself. Okay, and we'll also see what's inside the .git folder. Okay, now, after this, you will learn some Git basics and some basic Git command with some illustration and some demo. Next, we will learn what are branches, how you can merge branches, and how you can resolve conflicts using VS Code or Vim Editor. Okay. Then you will learn about some more basic Git commands like git diff, git stash, and also check out, restore, reset, revert, rebase, and cherry pick. Okay. After all of these, we will navigate to GitHub. We'll see how you can log in. Then we'll take a tour of GitHub, how you can add collaborators. And after this, with the help of GitHub, we will take any random repository and we'll check how you can push, fetch, pull, how you can create a pull request, what is the difference between forking and cloning. Okay, and at the end, you will learn what is readme.md file at GitHub, and also what is the use of .gitignore file in your Git repo. Now, before starting Git and GitHub, you should be understanding the base pillar of Git, which is version control system. Okay. Now, Git is a tool which is used for version controlling of your repository. It is also known as source control, and it is a practice to make, track, and manage changes to your software code. Okay. So basically, if you are working on a large application, so you are updating the features or you are fixing the bugs day by day or on monthly basis. Okay, now suppose if you want to roll back to any previous version or previous feature of a file, you need to go back in time. Okay, so that's what version control system does. Okay, now version control systems are of two types. First is centralized version control system. So in this system, you have three, suppose you have three developers here and they are working on a copy of their own piece of software. So suppose if application need a SQL DB and a JavaScript. So one user or one developer will be working on a JavaScript, one user will be working on a database, and they are integrating continuously to a single repository, whether it can be on cloud or whether it can be on a local, and they are integrating and managing the code on a single repository. So this is called a centralized version. Okay, now the another version and most popular version which is used among these days is distributed version control system, and Git is also one of the popular version control system, and it falls under distributed version control system itself. Okay, so in here what you have, so similarly you have suppose three developer, they are working on their own work. Now on their own PC they have a local repository. Okay, and they are first working on them, confirming that it is working fine. After when they verified that everything is fixed and done, then they will push or pull to the single repository hosted on cloud. For Git, it uses GitHub as a cloud repository, and the developer used to push or pull from or to the Git repo from that cloud repository. Now let's understand these two most heard terms in your IT or in your development work, which is Git and GitHub. Okay, so as I have discussed, so suppose if you have an application and you want a revision of your control of whatever version you have released, and you want to go in time, or if you want to see the track who made changes on which version of a file, so you can use Git as a version control system. Okay, now Git is a distributed version control system, and so Git is like a software, and it is basically of a CLI which is going to be installed on your main device, from where you can run command and you can work with the Git repository. Okay, there is a local Git repository also, so sometimes you don't need internet if you are working on your local copy of your repository. But in Git itself, if you are going to push or pull to the any repository, then you definitely need an internet. On the other hand, Git is like a web-based Git repository. So here you will update your Git repository, your push or pull, you will fetch the latest update made by the other developer, and you will also integrate your changes to the single streamline on the cloud with the help of GitHub. Now, this is only on clouds, so definitely you need internet for accessing GitHub, and definitely you need one account also. Now, I am hoping you have some basic understanding and the differences between Git and GitHub, and I am sure that you will not get confused between these two words. Okay, so one is application or a CLI, which is get installed on your OS, on your base OS, and one is your web-based Git repo. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now, let's see the installation on Windows and what is Git Bash that is going to be installed on your system. Now in this lecture, I'm going to illustrate the installation on Windows itself because it's bit tricky. It's not that much harsh, but it is bit tricky. While the installation on Mac OS and Linux is pretty easy because Git works on Unix like operating system, and Git CLI is kind of a bash commands. Okay. Now Mac OS and Linux, they basically primarily built on Unix based operating system, and they support Unix based command. So Git does not need any additional changes or any additional configuration while installing on Mac OS and Linux. But the Windows is mainly a GUI based system, so it definitely needs some configuration and some options to be asked while installation. So let's move on our Windows VM and let's see the installation of Git. I'm on my Windows VM. I will go ahead and I will type git download. I will go on downloads of official page, and here I will select download for Windows. Okay, and in here I will select 64-bit, and it has downloaded. So I will show in folders and I will right click on it and I will click on run as administrator. So it will ask, so I will press next. I will hit next. It will ask for open git bash here and open git GUI here. So I will go ahead and I will select next. I will select next. Now in here, if you want to select Vim as a Git default editor, then go ahead if you want to use it. So basically, suppose if you are going to fix any bug or if you are going to fix any conflicts, so it will open Vim as default editor so that you can provide any input. Now, if you are aware of Vim editor, then go ahead and select this. If you are not, then you can select Notepad++ or Visual Studio Code. So I will go ahead and select Visual Studio Code. Now, suppose if you want to learn about Vim editor, so you may go ahead with my Linux administrator course in which I have talked about Vim editor. Okay, so for now, I will go ahead and select Visual Studio Code as Git default editor. Now I have selected it. Now the next option is grayed out because the Visual Studio Code is not installed. So I will go ahead and I will click on this one. So it will open a link for me and I can click on download for Windows. Now it has downloaded. I will show in folders and it, and I will click on run as administrator. So I will install it. I will accept the agreement. I will click on next. I will click on next, next. And yes, I will register code as an editor for supported file types, and I will also add to path. I will click on next and then I will click on install. Now, if it is taking more time, I will fast forward the video. Now the installation is done. I don't want to launch Visual Studio Code now, so I will uncheck it and I will click on finish. Okay, so I can go on back and I can go on next again. Now, if I will select use Visual Studio Code, so it will give me option for selecting next. So I will go ahead and select next. In here, what is happening in late 20s, Git has renamed its main master repository to main. Okay, so if you want to keep your main repository as main, so you can select this. If you don't want to do that and you want let Git decide, then you can select on this option. So it will create a default branch master, and we'll also see how you can rename it. Okay, so for now I will select let Git decide and I will select my default branch name as master. Okay, I will hit on next. I will select on Git from the command line. Next, I will click on use bundled open SSH. I will click on use the OpenSSL library for certification related stuff. Okay, I will click on OK. Check out Windows style, commit Unix style line endings. I will click on next and I will select use main TT, the default terminal of MSYS2. I will click on next. And yes, the default behavior of git pull should be fast forwards or merge. I will click on next and I will select yes. Credential helper should be git credential help manager. I will click on next. Yes, I will enable my file system caching. I will install. Now in here, I don't want to see release notes and I will click on finish. To launch my Git, so how I can install it, I can search for Git. Okay, so you can see I have Git GUI, I have Git Bash. Now if you will click on GUI, so it will give a simple structure of GUI. Okay, so you can manage and create repository from here too, and you can run some basic stuff like git add, git commit. Okay, now if you want another git GUI and some advanced GUI, so you can use git kraken or source tree and more stuff. Okay, now in here the main we will use it git bash. Okay, so this is a git bash. So in here it is saying my user ID on my VM, and this is like a repository or kind of a path where we are at. Okay, now we have git install and we have launched our git bash. As Windows is GUI based system and it is not Unix based, so it has installed git bash for us, where we can run some basic bash commands here. Okay, now if you are not aware of some bash command, then please go ahead and learn about some bash command using my Linux full administrator course, in which I have talked about all the commands in depth. Okay, now I will check for my git version, so I will type git hyphen hyphen version. So if you can see the version, then yeah, you are good to go. If you are not, then you might have not added the path of your git or your git version on your system path. Okay, so you might need to troubleshoot it. So yeah, that's it. We have done for git setup. Now let's meet in the next lecture. So installation on our Windows is done, and we have also seen why we need git bash in our Windows. Now let's move ahead. So now on our Windows VM where we have installed our git bash, let's initialize a git repo and let's see the contents of that git repo. Okay, so I will move on my Windows VM. I am on my Windows VM. I will start my git bash. Now for demo purpose, I have some code in my downloads folder. So first I will list the folders in here, folders and files. So in here we have these things. Now I will navigate to my download folder. So I will type cd dow and I will hit tab. It will automatically detect cd downloads. Now if I will list contents, so I have 2D canvas game in here. So I can go to it. I will type 2 and I will hit tab. So I'm in here. If I will list the content, so I have app.js, HTML and a CSS file. Okay. Now if I will type git in here, so it is saying stored, but if I will type git status, we will come to this command later. So it is saying that hey, it's not a git repository, okay, or any parent git repository. Okay. Now if I want to ask git that hey git, this should be your local git repository and you should keep track of all the changes in this. So for that I will type git and init. So it will initialize a git repository. Okay. So if I will hit enter, it will tell you that initialize a empty git repository in my this folder. Okay. And now it will start tracking. And how it has start tracking, once I have typed git in it, it has added a branch called master by default. Okay. Now if I will list the content in here with ls, so it will tell that hey, this is the thing. But if I will type ls option la, which it will tell you the hidden files also, so you can see we have something called a .git folder in here also. Now if I will navigate to my .git folder, so I am in my Git folder. Now I can also navigate through this one, cd 2D canvas game, and in here I can select on view hidden items. So now I have .git folder. I will maximize the window. Now in here I have some types of our different file. First one is our config file in which I have all the configuration. Then I have a head file. Head is like a reference of your current work. So whatever you are doing, the head will store on you. The hooks is bit advanced topic. I will not be able to cover in my this course, but it will be covered in my Git advanced course. Okay. Now the refs is like your reference to where the pointer is going to happen. The ref will contain your head or tags. So there, so in here it will be reference to your head. Where is your head? And it is tags. Okay. The next we will talk about is objects. Okay. So basically we have four types of object we will talk about in the next. In brief, you should be aware of the config file. The config file in which you have stored all the configuration needed for Git. The next you should be aware about the head. Now head is a pointer to your current working area. Next one is object, which we will discuss in a bit. Okay. So I'm hoping you are clear with contents of .git folder. Now let's move ahead. So now in this demo, we will learn some basics of Git objects. So basically there are four types of Git objects: blob, tree, commit and annotated tags. Okay. The four types of object are going to store the details or whatever the data they have in a fixed length string called hash value. Okay. And for converting them from a general string to a hash string, they uses SHA1 SHA1 algorithm. Okay. So blob is like a file, tree will contain its subtree, else blob, and the commit and annotated tags are a feature of Git itself. So basically they are some values and the Git will take hash value to store the details about them. Okay. Now how the hash values are generated. So suppose if Git is taking any input string from its input, so it is passing it through a hash function, basically SHA1 algorithm, and it is creating a fixed length hash value. okay, which is of length 40 hexadecimal. Okay, now suppose if you are giving a word hello in the input, so it will create this string as a hash value. Okay, so I'm inside my git folder. Okay, now what I will do, I will write some content to the file. So what I will do, I will type echo and let's type hello world, and I will write it to test.txt file. Okay, so once if I will do that and if I will list the file, so I have test.txt file also, right? And I have this string written inside that text folder. Okay, now what I can do, I can write git to generate my hash object to understand how these things are working, because as of now I don't have any commits or annotated tags so that I can show you how I can get git cat file command, okay, or git hash object. So for demo purpose I have taken this as a string and let's generate the hash object from it. Okay, so git hash object, and if I will write test.txt, so what it will do, it will create a hash object of my hello world. Okay, so this is my hash object. If you want to see the contents of this, so how you can do that, you can type git and then cat file. You can also type and then whatever the string that you have, my this string, I will paste it. Okay, so once if I will hit enter, it will tell you that hey, it's a blob type because it is a kind of file, right? So it's a blob type. Now if you want to read more about it or print the details about it, you can give the option called option P. So it is telling that the string put in inside there, it is hello world. Okay, now let's understand some git basics and some basic git commands and how you can start your journey with your git. Okay, now before starting git, you need to understand about the directory structure. Okay, so the current stuff that you are currently working on, it is called a working directory. Now the working directory is current directory where you are working, and the on the top you have something called a staging area. You will use git add command to add those file or add those changes to your staging area, and these staging area are considered as a rough draft where you can ready to push your changes to your git repository or permanent snapshots. Okay, so then you have something called a local git repo. Okay, so now this repository we are talking about, it's a local git repo. Now on the top level, we will have a cloud repo. So we'll see that when we will be understanding or learning about GitHub lecture. Okay, so for this, let's understand. So first one is your working directory in which you will be working or writing your code. Check the changes on your working directory or from the past stuff. So you can see it in staging area and you can add them to staging area so that they can be ready to add them to your permanent snapshot called a local git repo. Okay, now if you have added them to a staging area, you can write git commit command so that they can be routed to your git local repo. Okay, in my demo folder in which I have some basic structure. Okay, so if I will list the content, so I have app.js, I have index.html, and I have a style.css. Okay, now before running any git command, I would need to configure my git and I would need to add my username and user email in here first. Okay, before pushing or doing anything with the changes. So for that, I will write command git config, then option global, then I will type user dot name, and here I will give as I have already configured my GitHub account with my DevOps channel account, so I can give DevOps channel 23. Okay, now I have also configured my mail, so I will press upper arrow icon for bringing it back and I will give user.email will be devops.channel23 @gmail.com. Okay, So it has configured my global username also. So in here it will take any user account or user email, but if you will go to push the changes or pull the changes, it will verify whether these accounts are correct or not. If you want to list the content, so you can obviously list with git config hyphen hyphen list. Okay, so it will tell my all the configuration, whatever configuration I have in here. Now besides this configuration, I also want to configure my default editor as Visual Studio Code. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write git config, then global, I will type core.editor equal to code hyphen hyphen wait. Okay, so in here, my git code editor will be set to Visual Studio Code. And why I am giving option wait? Because it will keep asking for the prompt until and unless we will close the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I will do that. Now it has also set my Visual Studio Code as a core editor. Okay, now the first command I would like you to inform about git status. Okay, so this command will tell you the staging area and working area, the difference between staging area and working area. Okay, so here it is telling that changes to be committed. So this one we have added by mistaken. So I will delete that. Now this one is completely untracked file. So once if I will add them to my staging area, they will be tracked by my Git. Okay, so let's understand whatever I have in here with git add command. So what I will do, I will type git add option dot. Okay, so it will take current directory and it will add everything else. What you can do, you can give individual files names also, app.js, index.html, else. Okay, so what I will do, I will add dot so that it will take the current directory all stuff and it will add it to the staging area. So once if I will do that, it has added. Now if I will type git status, so you can see all the files are in here and they have added it. Okay, now if you want to remove it or if you want to revert it back to the working area, you can type git rm cast with the file name or you can type dot. Okay, so it will make a stage all of them. Now I am going to commit my messages. So if I will type git, so now I have added this file to my staging area, right? Now I will commit it and I will make them permanent snapshot on my git local repo so that it will create a commit sha value. Okay, so I will type git commit option m and I will give my message like added basic files. Okay, so once if I will hit enter, so it has created all the things. And if I will see in here what it it has said, so it is said that the branch was master. We will explain the branch later. It was a root commit. Okay, the commit, the beginning of 7 letter of commit sh value it has given. It has also given our message of commit in the create mode and also what are the file permissions I had. Okay, it is telling 202 lines of insertion and 3 files were changed. Right, now how I can see all the commit that I have done. So for that I can type git log. Okay, so in here, so here I have git log. Okay, so once if I have type git log, so as I had only one commit, so it is saying that it is a commit with the it is sh value. Here it is telling that head is pointing to my master. And what is head? Head is my current working where I am working. So I am currently working, and then I have committed these changes. So now my head is pointing to my master. Okay. Now the author with the user ID and user email, date and time, and what is the commit value. Okay. If I will now, as learned in previous chapter, if I want to see the contents of my SHA value, so how I will do that? So what I will do, I will type git cat file option T and I will pick up my hash value from here and I will paste it in here. So it will tell you that it's commit. The object type of this hash value is commit. Okay, and if you want to contents of it, so I will give option P, so it will give you whatever option you have in here. Okay, so it will store in kind of a tree. It has some hash value, so hash value is containing these stuff, these four line stuff. Okay, so I'm hoping you are clear how you can read the contents of git hash objects and how you can also create them. Now in here I will open my Visual Studio Code, and in parallel I will also try to make some change. So what I will do, I will this one, I will open this it in here, and in here I will open this. Okay, now in here what I will do, I will make some changes. So I will type one more HTML. Okay, so I will done just a basic step. So if I will type git status, it will tell you that my index HTML is was changed, so it is doing at a real time. Okay, what I can do, let's let's add it to staging area, git add, and my index.html. Okay, and git commit option M, added wrong info in index.html. Okay, so I have to give one double quotes in here. Okay, so it was changed. Now if I will type git log, so it has two commits in here, and where my head will point, my head will point on the first. Okay, because I done the latest one, this one. Now as if these are not readable to you, you can also print git log option one line. Okay, I have typed one line, it will be one line. Okay, so it is giving the prints in one line. It is a commit value and it is a info about it. Okay, now in here you can see the, if you have multiple stuff to work on and you cannot see how these things are building as a graphical, so either you can use GUI, git GUI, or in here you can also type git log option graph, so it will tell you in a graphical representation also. Now what I will do, I will revert back my changes, and let's delete one more thing. Okay, I have deleted backslash html, so I've done that. Now if I will type git status, okay, so I have again my index.html unmodified, so I will add it. So I can type git add dot, okay, and I will type git commit option M, reverted back index.html. Okay, now in here the most developer suggests that you use present tense. Okay, so you can use past tense, present tense, but I would suggest you should use present tense. Okay, so revert back index HTML according to me. Okay, so but I have deleted that, so I have according to me. Okay, now I have that. Now I have mistakenly forget backslash HTML. Okay, so what I will do, I will go ahead and I will type backslash HTML. Now I have added that, and what I will do, I will type git commit, as I have just done the mistake on this same command and I want to keep the changes on this command itself. So what I will do, I will type git commit and option amend. So what option amend does, so suppose if you have mistakenly added commit to the wrong info, and if you want to correct the changes on the same commit, you can add option amend. Okay, so it will just make the changes on just previous commit message. So if I will type amend, so now it has opened as I have selected my Visual Studio Code as default editor. So it has opened this thing. Now I don't want to change anything. It will take the message as revert back index HTML according to me, and I can type this one. I will type accept, and it has already changed. Okay, so I'm hoping you'll clear. Now if I will type get log option one line, I have bunch of commits in here. Okay, now I did two entries. Okay, so first entry was for revert back index.html according to me, and in that I did a mistake, but I forget, and I used amend option so that it will take the reflection of a working copy inside just a previous. So it added my next change using amend to this previous commit message itself. Okay, so I'm hoping you're clear with. Now let's move ahead. Now let's move ahead and let's understand about Git branches. Okay, so what are branches? Branches are like your stream work. So suppose if one developer is working on the same branch, okay, so there is something called a master branch, but nowadays it has changed to main. We have also haven't changed our master branch to main, so we will rename that also. Now this one is our main branch, which it will be used for main production. Now what we are doing in here, suppose we have given a blank piece of paper in here, right? Now we have provided one user that, hey, I am giving you this my doc file, and you add all the backend feature, like you create JavaScript file, you write some code, right? Now once it is done, you can migrate it after, or you can merge it later once I will tell you. Okay, so the worker is working on its own. Now the master branch is working on its own feature, and at some of time just before we ask earlier user to merge their changes, before that we are asking another developer that, hey, once he will add, you need to make the changes and you add a orange color to the page. Okay, so how they will do on the single streamline, so that's what the branches is make for. So from master, the first developer will change it branch to a feature branch. Suppose it's called a feature one branch, right? And it is doing the copy of these stuff on its own machine. Okay, similarly, the another developer has taken the copy of that all those files and folders, and he is working on changing the background color. Okay, now once the time is done, once one particular snapshot is bringed out, so first developer will merge its changes, right? Similarly, another developer will do its work and he will merge the changes to a single streamline. Okay, so that's what the branches are. Branches are just like a feature branch. Okay, so if you are working on a particular feature and if you are responsible for that, so you will work on the feature. Now git log also keep tracks of when the developer switches to feature and when he merged, so we'll see that also. Okay, I'm on my Windows VM. Now if I want to see all the branches present for my this repo, so what I can do, I can type git and then branch. So it is telling that currently I have only master branch and the pointer is pointing to that branch only. Okay, now as git is nowadays using main as a default branch, so I will change this master to main. So for renaming my branches, I have a command called git branch, then option M, and I will type main. Okay, so keep in mind that you should be on the same branch whatever you are going to rename it. So once if I will hit enter, so it has changed my master branch to main branch. Okay, right? Now if you want to create a branch, new branch, so what you can do, you can go to git branch and let's call it as a feature one. Okay, So it has created my feature one branch, and if you want to switch it, so you can click on git switch feature one. So it has switched to feature one branch, and you can see from main it is coming to feature one. Okay, you can also see git and then branch. So it will tell you that you are on currently feature one branch and you are having one main branch called main also. Okay, and as you have switched to feature one branch, so pointer is pointing to feature one branch. Okay, now you can obviously both create a branch and switch it to it by only one command. So for that you can type git switch option C and feature 2. Okay, sorry, feature 2. Okay, so it has created our feature branch and it has already switched to. There is one more command which is called checkout. So git checkout, and the checkout has many uses in git. Okay, so we'll see that also in upcoming lectures. Git checkout option C and feature 3. Okay, I think I have missed something. Okay, I think it will be option small b. Okay, so it will create and switch to it. Now if you will check option git and then branch, so it has mainly four branch right now and it is currently pointing to feature 3. Now suppose if you want to change anything on feature 3, so you can go to here. Let's try to add something XYZ wrong line. I have added that. I will save it. Once if I will save it, I am on this branch itself. It will not going to change on any other branch. So that's the feature of branching. Okay. Now if I will type git status, so it will tell you that on branch feature 3 it was modified. So I will type git add, or what I can do, I can type git commit option am. Okay, so at the same time I am adding it and I will commit message also, and I will added wrong info to index.html file. Again I am in here adding past tense, which I will not prefer, just go with present tense. Okay, so once it done I will hit enter. It was done, right? So with the same command you were able to add and you will also able to commit it. Now if I will check the git log option one line, so you can see earlier you were on this, then on the same you switch it to feature 2 feature 1, and now head is pointing to feature 3 where you have the latest comments here. Now suppose another developer is working on this branch, another developer is working on this branch, and you want a GUI look of it, so you can use git GUI. And also you have git log option graph, so you can see it in graphical version. Okay, so if you will see in here, so here it was you have switched it to feature 3. Okay, if you will switch to another branch, git switch feature 2, and similarly what I will do, I will check the status. So in here it will be clean because whatever the changes we have made in my feature 3 branch, right? So here it was reverted. Now in here also let's make some changes. So in here added some more wrong lines. Okay, so if I will save it and if I will take get status, so it was modified, so I will commit them with one command. Added wrong info, and if I will hit enter it has changed. Now if I will type git log graph, so you can see on my feature branch it has changed. Okay, so I will type q, and I will also delete these lines. Okay, I've deleted these lines and I will type git commit option am corrected correct HTML file. Okay, similarly I will switch to git switch feature 3, and if I will switch to feature 3 my wrong lines are coming again. I will go ahead and save it, and in here git commit, and in here what I will do, first I will type git add option dash, and in here if you will not provide any messages, so suppose if your commit message is not one line and it has multiple lines, so you can just type git commit. Once if you will hit enter, it will open your default editor, and it will create one file called commit edit message, and it will ask for prompt. So I will type corrected HTML file, and you can click on accept commit message. I will change yes, and it's done. Okay, so if you have multiple line commits, so you can give git commit only and it will open your default editor. For now my default editor was Visual Studio, so it has opened. If you have not set, so it will open Vim editor. Okay, I will also delete my branches, so let's delete 3 branches. So I will type git branch option D. Let's delete feature 2. Okay, sorry, feature 2. Okay, and okay, I have some changes in feature 2. Feature 2, what I will do, I will delete it forcefully. Okay, so force option F. Okay, so I have deleted my feature 2 branch. Similarly, I can delete my feature 3 branch. Okay, I think it is being used. So, okay, so I will go ahead and delete branch 1. Okay, so I will keep only main branch and feature 3 branch for my future references. Okay, so I'm hoping you are clear with branches. Now let's move ahead. Now you have some basic understanding of branches, right? So now let's understand how you can merge branches. Okay, so once you have handed the work to the developer, it has completed and he wants to merge it to the main branch, so how he will do that. Okay, and also you will see the conflict. So suppose if the same stuff or the same file is edited by another developer and the first developer is going to merge it, so it will create a conflict, so you should be also able to resolve them. Okay, so we'll also see how you can resolve it. Okay, so first let's understand what are the merging types. So basically there are two types of merging. First one is fast forward merge, so it's also called two-way merge. So in here what you have, so you are working on a master on a main branch and you are working on a feature, so you implemented something C1, then you implemented something C2, then you implemented something C3, and in here you have stopped, right? Now, at the same time, you have asked one developer, hey, work on one feature called F1. So he has changed the branch and he has worked on F1, and then he worked on F2. And once it is ready, he has applied the merging. Once the merging will be applied, so it is called a fast forward merge. So it's just a simple structure. Okay. So in here, you don't have anything. It will just take these branch and it will attach to it. Now the another type is called a fast forward merge of three-way merge. Okay, so in here what you have, you at the point of a time you have handed one work to one developer, so he has started working on it. But on master branch also we have created something. Okay, so it the common ancestor will have one master branch work and also some feature branch work. Okay, now the feature branch is two commits less than the master branch. Now if you will try to merge it in here, so what it will do, it will take the merge and it will create a new commit value or new commit hash value of a merge. Okay, so we are not creating it, Git will create a merge commit. Okay, so that's a three-way merge. But in here, the Git will not create any merge commit extra. It will just attach to it. So it's kind of rebasing. We will also understand rebasing in the next lecture. Okay. So let's move on Windows VM and let's see this. Now in here, what I'm doing, I am first, let's see where on which branch you are. So I will type git branch. So I am currently on my feature 3 branch. Okay. So I will switch to git switch main. I am on my main branch and in here let's add something. Okay, added wrong line 1, right? I will save it and if I will see the git status, it will tell you that it was modified. So I will commit it, git commit. For shortcut I will add and commit at the same time. Added, add wrong line, add wrong line 1 to index.html. Okay, so once if I will hit enter, so it was done, right? From here what I will do, I will switch to another branch. So I will type git switch option C and I will call it as feature 1 branch. Okay, so from here itself I will switch to another feature branch. Now in here what I will do, I have switched it. So what I will do, I will type git status. So there is nothing we can commit. So I will in here what I will add added wrong line 2 in feature 1 branch. I will save it. I will make this in here. Okay, so if I will see the git status, so you have this modified file on feature 1 branch. So let's commit this one also. Added wrong line 2. Okay, now it has done. Now what I am going to do, I have worked on main branch also and I have worked on feature branch also. Now let's make one more stance in here and let's take this and add 3 also. Okay, and I will again go ahead and commit it, option AM, and added wrong line 3. Once it done, I will type get log one line. So you can see I have switched it to feature and I have 2 commits in this branch. Okay, and earlier I had 1 commit on my main branch and I have added the same file, right? I have changed the same file. Now I am going to merge it. Okay, so first for merging it, what I will do, I will first need to switch to my main. So git, then I can use either checkout or switch. Git checkout main. I have switched it to main, and in here my Visual Studio Code is smart enough. It is telling here a red icon, which is telling that something is missing in here in this branch. But my git merge option will tell that also. Okay. Now I will merge my branch git merge. And what was the branch I had? I had feature 1. Once if I will hit enter, so it has merged it. Okay, because there was no conflict and it was a fast forward. So this was our fast forward. Now let's create three-way merge. Okay, so how I can do that? So first I will go and switch to another branch. So I will call git switch option C and let's call it as feature 2. Okay, so once if I have switched it, I will what I will do, I will go ahead and add some more stuff in here. Added wrong line 4 in feature to branch. I will save it and I will commit it. Add wrong line 4. Okay, so I have done that. Now I will check out to my master or my previous branch, so I can do that. So I will type git checkout main, because my due to fast forward merge it was merged to my main. I have checked out to main. Now in here what I will do, I will add wrong line 5. Okay, because 4 was added to my feature 2 branch. Okay, so I've done that. I will save it and I will commit it. Git commit option am add wrong line 5. It was committed, right? Now how you can merge it? So if I will type git, I am on my main branch, and if I will try to merge it, so type git merge feature 2. So in here it will tell you that there are merge conflict in here. Okay, so what it's doing in here, at head means head, where it was at main. Here the feature 2 or incoming change is coming from, this one is receiving branch which was head, which is coming from the main. This is incoming change which is coming from feature 2 branch. Okay, so it is saying that it's coming and it is coming. So do you want to keep current change, means this one? Do you want to keep incoming change, this one? Or do you want to accept both changes? So what I will do, I will type accept both changes, because in my upcoming branch I have added wrong line 4, and in my main I have added wrong line 5. Okay, if you haven't installed Visual Studio Code, so it will not give pop-up like this, and it will open Vim Editor, and you need to manually remove these thing, this thing and this thing, and you need to save it, and then you need to run this thing again. Okay, so once I will click on accept both changes. Now I will clear my terminal so that it will be a bit easier. Now I have accepted both the changes. So what I will do, I will again commit my messages, git commit m, accepted both changes. Once if I will do that, so it has tell this one and it have accepted both the changes. Okay, so if I will type git log option graph, so you can see that now it has merged. Okay, so the log graph is telling you all the stuff in here in a graphical way. Now I will press Q, and as these are not looking good, so what I will do, which branch I am in, so I can also delete the branches, right? Because I have merged my feature 2 branch. So let's delete git branch option D and my feature 1, and also git branch D option feature 2. Okay, so it was deleted. Now if I will type git branch, so I have main and feature 3, and if I will see the contents in main branch, so it has these. So what I will do, I will remove this. I have saved it and I will commit it. Fixed HTML file. Okay. So if I will type git log option 1 line, it will tell you all these things, and my branching was gone. And if I want to see by the graph, I can also see that. Okay. So here the merge was done, and then from here it is a main branch. I'm hoping you are clear how you can fix the conflicts using VS Code, and also how you can create branches and all about branches. Okay. Now I am hoping you are clear with two merging type, fast forward merge and three-way merge, right? Now let's move ahead with Git rebase. Git rebase is more like a similar of Git merge. It's just it will not create any extra commit message for you. Okay, and it will also make your tree look cleaner. So suppose if you want to compare the merge, so how the merge is working under the hood. So suppose if you have a main branch and you are two branch ahead of your feature branch, so once if you will it will be merging, it will merge and it will create a new commit, right? Now in rebase, what it will do, whatever the branch it will take the main branch first, all the commits of main branch first, and then it will take feature branch and it will replace it. Now the here three commits, those are these commits, right? And these commits are ignored. And these commits that it will be created, it will be a new commit. Okay, with the replace of these three commits. Okay, so I'm hoping you understood the rebase. Now in here, what I will do, I will see the branches, what branches I do have. So I have only one branch, right? Now what I will do, I will create a new branch and I will check it out. So git switch option C and let's call it as feature branch, not feature, it will be feature. Okay, and what I will do, I will do some stuff in here. Now I have switched it to here. Now let me also try to create some more files in here. So what I will do, I will switch to main again, and I will make some changes in here. So I will, for the demo purpose, I will added one line in HTML in main. Okay, I will save it. Now I will commit my whatever changes I do have with one command, git option am added line in main. Once I do that, it's done. Now I will switch to my feature branch. Okay, I have switched it to my feature branch, and what I will do, I will also try to add. So in here, I will take whatever the addition I had in my main branch. So first, let me, else it will create a conflict which we don't want. So git switch main, as it will create a conflict also, right? So which we don't want that. We want simple merge and then it will rebase. If it will create a conflict, then first you need to resolve the conflict, then you will move ahead with rebase. Okay, so I have copied this thing so that I can paste it in my feature branch. Git switch feature. First I will write the stuff and then I will write added another line in feature. Okay, I will hit save and I will commit my message. So git commit option am added line in feature. I will first check out my feature branch because it was my feature. So I am already in my feature branch. Okay. Now whatever changes I have done. So first let's see the what how git log graph look like. So for basic understanding, I would suggest you to use source tree or git kraken so that you can see the visual representation on changing of branches or changing of commits. Okay. So it will give you the better illustration. So if I will see git graph, so what it is doing, I have this feature branch in here, and earlier I have done some merge and now I have some main in here. From here I have changed my feature branch. Okay, so what I will do, I will hit Q, and in here what I will do, I will git rebase and main. So what it will do, it will take all the commits that whatever it will be done, first it will arrange our main commits and then on the top layer, it will attach our feature branch in the same line. So once it will do that, so first it is taking to resolve the conflicts. So I have conflicts in my this file. So what I will do, I will click on accept both changes in here. Okay, and what I will do, I will add git add, and what is the file, index.html file. And then what I will do, I will type git rebase continue. Now it has asking for committing my message, so I will do commit edit message and I will hit and close this. So once it will do what it has done, it has successfully rebased and updated my refs head and feature branch. Okay, so now if I will see the git log rebase, oh sorry, git log graph. So now all the stuff on my top is of the feature. So what was the here? First it was feature, then main, then feature, right? But in here, what it did, it take all the main branches and it has first written our main branch and then it has taken our feature branch. And now my head is pointing to feature. It is saying that successful update and updated refs heads and feature. If you will check this, so it will contain our commit message. So if you will also see refs heads and feature, so let's navigate to the folder git refs heads and feature. So let's open it with notepad. So it has a commit SHA value with 613D. Okay, now if I will close this, so it has 613D, which was this one. Now keep in mind, you should not use rebase when there are multiple developers involved in development. Okay, because all the stuff or change will be merged and it will be in a single streamline. Okay, which you don't want that in a development work. Okay, so I'm hoping you are clear with rebasing. Now let's move on git diff. So git diff is used to view changes between your commits. Means you can compare two commits, you can compare two branches, you can compare two files, or you can compare your working area and staging area. Okay, so let's see this in action. Okay, so let's see git diff in action. So if I will type git log one line, so I have these many logs in the from the beginning, right? So what I can do, I can type git diff and I can either use our SHA value and I can type, sorry, I can copy it and I can paste it in here and I can give double dot and I can take this one, I can copy it and I can paste it in here. Okay, so once if I will do that, so it will give me difference of these two commit SHA. Okay, now what it is saying in here, so you should be understand here. Now all the structure of whether you will compare any branch, whether you will compare any commit SHA, whether you will compare any file, it will give output like this itself. So you should be aware what it is saying in here. Okay, now first one is taking the diff and it is taking option. Now first file is, it will tell you with the A that index HTML was for this it's A and for this it's B. Okay, it is telling you permissions. Now in here the minus 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 will represent for the file A and plus 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 will represent for file B. Okay, means minus 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 will represent for the first commit SHA and the plus 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 will represent second SHA. Okay, now let's understand this what it will say. Now this is a minus, means this highlighted stuff is from my first file and the another highlighted stuff is from my second file. Okay, now understand what is this. Okay, so here it is saying that from the first file 5 lines are extracted. okay, starting from line 15th. Okay, so from the index.html, 5 lines are extracted. So sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 lines are extracted starting from line 15th. So I have line 15th. So it has started from here and given me 5 lines. Okay. Currently it is not showing because it was deleted. And from the second line, it is showing that 4 lines are extracted. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines are extracted starting from plus 15. So it is also showing from 15. Okay. Minus is representing that it were deleted and plus is representing that it was added. Okay. So this is how you can compare with the diff. Similarly, if you have multiple branches, you can compare them too. So suppose, do I have a branch? Yes, I do have. So I can use get diff main and feature. Okay. So it will tell you that these are the differences between in this file. Okay. And the output is quite similar to this one. And you need to understand what are the lines are saying. Similarly, for a particular commit SHA, suppose if you have this commit SHA and you want to commit with the reference of head. So currently head will be on the top. So if I will type git log option 1 line, so head is currently on fixed HTML again. Okay. Now if you want to compare these one and you want to take the reference of head, so how you can do that? You can give head tilde 2 means second parent of head. So it will take this one. Okay. So how I can do that? So git diff, let's take git diff. So git diff daa159 means this this commit, and here I will type head tilde 2 means it means second parent of the head means this one. So it will automatically replace this one with this one. So once if I will hit enter, it will also work. I'm hoping you have some basic understood how diff work. Now let's move ahead. Now we are clear with git diff. So let's move ahead and let's understand git stash. Okay. So I will clear my timeline in here. Now suppose if you are working on a streamline and suddenly your colleague is saying that he needs help on something. Okay. So how you will first take your changes and keep it in a bucket. So that bucket is in Git is called stash. Okay. So first, whatever work you are doing, you will keep them in your stash and you will navigate to the changes that is your colleague asking for. You will resolve them or you will help him to resolving it. And then once it's done, you can pick your changes from the stash and you will apply them. Okay. So let's see how you will do that. So first I will check my branches. So git branch. So I am in my main branch. Now what I will do, I will add something in here. So I will added one line in here in main branch. Of course, I am adding any dummy line, but in real world scenario, you will be changing your code, right? So I have done that, and what I am doing, I was writing my code, and suddenly my colleague came and he's saying that, hey, I want your help in my feature branch. So first I would need to stash it. Okay. So what I will do, I will type git stash and then either I can type save it is needed or you won't be needing to type it also. So I will type git stash. Once if I will hit enter, my last committed saved work was reverted back and my that line or whatever work I was doing, it is saved to my stash. Now I will be here. I will switch to my directory, git switch my feature branch, and I will do anything else. I think I have not done any changes, so I will resolve everything else and I will go back and I will hand it over to my colleague and I have helped him to solve his issues. Okay. Now once I done, so what I will do, I will switch to my main. So git switch main. Okay, now after this what I will do, I will type git stash pop. Okay, so once I will do that, it is telling and it has bring back my all the lines saved in a stash. Okay, similarly if you have multiple work, so you can save it in stash index. So for example, I had only one stash, so it was stash at the rate 0. If you have one more, so it will be saved in index stash at the rate 1. So if you want to pop it out, so you can type git stash pop and your index value. Git stash at the rate 1 or 2, whatever it is. Okay, so in my case I had only one stash, so it had applied that. Okay, now you can continue working on that, and at the same time you have resolved the issue of your collects. Okay, so I'm hoping you are clear with stashing, right? Now let's move ahead and let's understand one important command which is called git checkout. So we have seen this command, so it is used to switch or create branches also, but it has more work in git instead of just creating branches or working with the branches. Okay, so let's understand this. Now checkout can be used for switching branches and switching commits also. Now, if you will switch commit, it will go into a special state called detached head. Okay, so what it is? So suppose by default the head is always on your current working area. So whatever you are currently working or current commit, so head will be pointing to that. But if you will switch or check out any specific commit, the head will point to that commit only. Okay, so suppose if I will type git log one line. Currently, the head is on my main and it is pointing to my this one. Okay. For better illustration, I will also open my Git folder. And if you will see this, and if I will open this with Notepad, so it is on my main. Let me close this. And if I will open this one, if I will open this one, so currently I am on my main. And if I will see this, so currently it is pointing to 9ADC2. Okay, 9ADC2. Okay, so if I will see this, so it is pointing to this one, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to git checkout and I'm going to head my pointer to this commit. Okay, so if I will do that, and here we have entered git one line, git log one line, and it has given all of the commit. Now I'm going to point to this one. Okay, I'm going to check out this commit. So once if I will hit enter, now you will see the message, hey, you are in detached head. You can look around, make experimental changes and commit then you can discard any commit it's make you in this state without impacting any branch by switching back. Okay. So it's just for your incremental purpose. Now if I will check the status of my head, so let me go navigate to my folder, and if I will, so earlier my head was at git refs head main, right? Now if I will try to see this, so it will give me a hash value of whatever pointer I have given here. So I had given 9f34. Earlier it was refs heads main, right? So currently it is in detached heads. So now if I will type git log one line, so it has discarded all the changes above it, 9 and f34. So it has changed all the stuff on the top. Okay, so here it is 9 and f already, and earlier what it was, earlier it was two commits above. Once we check out, it came here, right? Now how you can go back, so you can go ahead with git switch dash option so that it will go to the previous one. So git switch dash. Okay, so it has switched to the main branch. And if I will check my main folder again, oh, So if I will check my head head stuff again, so it will again will be referring to my main branch. So git refs heads main. Okay, and if I will type my git log one line, so all the stuffs are my back. Earlier I was on this one. So this is how checkouts help. Now checkout also help to make undo the changes. So suppose unintentionally you have typed anything else here, right? So what it can do, and so suppose it is a big file, right? It is a large file, and by mistakenly you have write anything else in somewhere else, okay? And it is thousands of lines. So how you will check it? So for that you can type git checkout where your head was previously and what's the file. So index.html. So you can see it has changed to whatever it update. So here it was only 15 lines, but suppose if you have 1000 plus lines, how you are going to detect it, right? So you can use this command. So you have seen the uses of checkout in three ways: how you can revert your changes, how you can go in detached head and modify and check some more stuff, and also you have seen how you can use checkout for creating and managing branches. Okay, so I am hoping you are clear with it. Now let's move ahead. Now we have covered git stash and we have also covered git checkout. So let's move ahead and understand git store. So git store will work similar to your git checkout. So the last case we have seen about git checkout, where if you have made any unintentional change on your file and you want to revert it back to the last committed change, so you can use git checkout head and then file name, right? Now the similar stuff is done by git restore command. Okay, so let's see this. So here we have seen this. So similar, it will do the same. So I have added, suppose if this is a 2000 lines for file and you have added some random stuff in here. So what it will do, if I will type git restore and whatever your file name index.html, so it will restore it. I haven't saved earlier. So if I will save here and if I will type git restore, so it will restore back. Similar like your git checkout. Okay, so git checkout head and then your file name. So what I'm asking here is to get checkout wherever your head was earlier on the last committed change of the file index.html revert it back. Now similar is git restore command. Now you can also use git restore to reference it to earlier commits. So suppose I have my head here. So if you will check git log one line, so you have these many files. Now if you want to revert or restore your files from this commit, so how you can do that? So it is head, it will be head tilde one, means first parent of head, it will be second parent of head, right? So what you can do, you can give git restore and then you can provide option called source and then head tilde 2 and then your file name, so index.html. Okay, so it will restore the file and it will make change in the working area itself of what, of head tilde 2 means this change. Okay, and I am also specifying one file, so it will not change every file. Okay, now the another use of git restore command, so I will not go ahead and enter it. And the another use of restore, so you can also unstage your file using restore. Okay, so what you can do, you can use git restore staged and your file name, so index.html. Okay, so whatever it will be done, so it will also unstage the file. So that's it for restore. Now let's move ahead with git reset command. Now git reset is one of the popular and powerful command. It is for reverting back your changes to a specific commit. Now we have two types of reset. First one is regular or soft reset. Another one is hard reset. Okay, and we have also another type of reset called mixed. So it is kind of mixture of soft and hard reset. Now in the soft reset, after you mistake your commit, you will be able to revert your changes, same like your reset or restore command or your checkout command. While in a hard commit, what it will do, whatever commit SHA value you will provide, it will apply to your working area. So how you will do that? So suppose if I am writing anything, so my first line, I will save it and I will commit it. Git commit option em, add first line. Okay. Similarly, I will add my second line, right? I will save it, and in here I will also add second line, right? Now in here, if I will type git reset, so by default it will be a soft reset. And first I have to get SHA value, so I have my SHA value. So git reset, and I will take my first line of SHA value. Okay. So if I will paste it and if I will hit enter, okay, I have. So what it will do, it has unstaged changes after the reset. Okay. So if I will type git status, so what it has done, the git reset of soft, what it has done, it has track your changes from your commit or your git local repo to your staging area. It's not working area, it's a staging area. Okay. If you want to restore it back, so you can use git restore. Okay, right? So what I will do for now, I will commit all the changes. So git commit option em changed everything. So it was done, right? Now let me take, so I'm hoping you have understood git reset soft command. So git log one line, right? Now I have added here first line and I have added here second line, right? But when I resetted, so it was went to my staging area. Then if I had committed it again, it has removed my second line and it has changed my second line to this one, right? Now if I will check git status, so my merging tree is clean. Okay. Now earlier before adding these or before coming on my reset command, I was on, my head was on this command, right? Where I don't have these lines. So let's try with git reset hard and let's see if it is removing from working area also and it is not keeping in working area or staging area. So as I illustrated, the hard command, the hard option will reset everything in the working area itself. So let's try that. So git reset hyphen hyphen hard, and I will provide my commit SHA of the fix HTML. So once I will do that and if I will hit enter, so you can see the head is now at this one again. Okay. And it has cleaned our working area also. And if I will check git status, there will be nothing. But in when we tried with without hard option, means with a soft reset, we had some unchange in our unstage area. Okay. So that's what the difference between our soft reset and hard reset. Okay. Now the mixed reset is combination of both soft and hard, so you can check that too. You need to make sure how you want to keep those files. Okay. Now we have seen some confusing commands in git, which was restore, reset, checkout. Okay. So these sounds like a similar, and there is one more command that we are going to cover which also looks similar, which is git revert. Now, the git revert is similar to git reset as they both undo changes, but they accomplish in different ways. So, git reset was what it was doing.
Actually, it moves the branch pointer backward and forward, eliminating commits. Right? Now the git revert, it is not changing your pointer to backwards. What it will do, it will take that commit that you want to refer and it will copy that applied commit and it will create a new commit for reverting it back. It will not move your pointer. It is going to create a new commit for that and it is going to copy the changes. Okay, so how you are going to do that? Let's see this. So if I will go back and if I will say git log one line, so I have these many stuff. Now suppose if I want to go to this where I have added my one line. Okay, so what I can do, I can type git revert and my commit SHA value. Okay, so let's recall all of this stuff related to again. So what git checkout command will do? Git checkout command will take the head and it will keep it in the detached head. Restore, what it will do? It is similar like git checkout, but it can also take source as your pointer reference to the head and it can also restore your stage and unstage file. Now what is git reset? So there are two types of resets, soft and hard. The soft reset will reset the changes and it will take in a staging area, while the hard reset will also apply and make the changes to your working area. Okay, now what is git revert? Git revert will also work similar like a reset. It will reset it. It's just like a difference. It is not moving your pointer. It will create a new commit for that. Okay, so
So I
now
will clear my terminal in here.
let's understand the revert. So what I will do, I will make some changes. So I am on my main branch. So you can see it's a main, right? So I will write something. So add first line. I will save it. And in here, what I will do, I will type git commit option am add first line. Once it done, I will also add another line. It's done. I will go in here and I will type git commit option am add another line. Now it has given me some hash value. Now I will revert it back. So git revert and I will check out this commit value. Okay. So if I will paste it and if I will hit enter, so what it is doing currently, I was on another one means add another line, but on the current change it was these lines. Okay, but in the parent it was nothing. So it is taking if you want to revert it back. So in reverting also I had some conflict. So first I will have to resolve them. So I can click on accept incoming change, means I don't want to do that. Once I do done that, I will save it. And once I have saved it, what I will do, I will type git add index.html as it was merge conflicts. Then again it asks for these things. If it was not any conflict, it will just revert and it will create a new commit of the reverted message or reverted text. Okay, so as it had conflict, so I will type git add index.html. I will hit enter and I can type git commit option m revert change. Once it done, so it has reverted the change and I can do git revert. Okay, so if I will type git log one line, so I had another line and it has take back my changes from the reverted stuff. Okay, and it has created new SHA value of the same change. Okay, so that's how reverts work. Now Let's understand about git cherry pick. It is also one of the important command.
Now let's start with git cherry pick. It is also one of the important commands and it is also most asked question in your git interviews. Okay, so basically git cherry pick is actually opposite to the git revert command. So in here what you do, actually you switch to your new branch, you update some changes, and suppose if you don't want to merge that, so what you will do, you will pick that commit in the new branch and you will apply cherry pick by navigating to your main branch. Okay, so what it will do, it will also create a new commit, but here you didn't go through the merge process. And yeah, of course, you the cherry pick will have conflicts also. So first you will need to resolve the conflicts, then you can get cherry pick. Okay. Now in here I am working on the same 2D canvas game. So in here what I am doing, I will first check the branch. So git branch. So I have two branch. Currently I am pointing to main. So what I will do, I will switch to feature branch. Now I have switched to my feature branch. In here I have some conflicts. So I will accept both changes and I will save it and let's commit the changes. Resolve conflict. Once do that, I will check for git status. There is nothing. Okay, now in here, what I will do, I will try to delete them. Okay, so once I will delete them, I will save it. Now, if I will check the git status, I am currently on my feature branch. So it is saying modify index.html. Okay, now I will type git commit and with the same option, I will add it to staging area and also I will commit it and fix index page once again. Okay, once if I will hit enter, so it has given me commit and this is a SHA value. Okay, now I will copy the SHA h value of my new commit and now I will navigate to my master branch. So git switch main. Once I do that, what I will do, I will type git cherry pick and our commit. Now this was also in here. So once I will do that, so what it will do, it will first tell you that, hey, you have some conflict. Okay. So as there is nothing to be changed because my main branch and my the feature branch was also empty. So what I will do, I will type git commit allow empty. So now it has given me option for opening the prompt. So I will just keep it like it is. I will click on sign and it's done. So I'm on main branch, but if I will check the git status now, so on the top, okay, sorry, the git log one line. So on the top, we have this cherry pick command, right? So it has taken that command and it has applied to my main branch and the feature branch is gone. Okay, so that's what the use for the cherry pick. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now we are finally at GitHub. So as we have earlier discussed that GitHub is a web-based remote repository. So where you will host your all of your code and you will connect your Git to GitHub for making changes, pushing changes and pulling changes from it or to and fro. Okay. So let's navigate to our GitHub page and let's see some basic stuff on there. So now I am on my GitHub page, right? And I have logged in. If you haven't logged in and if you want to create a new account, so it's pretty similar. You can go ahead and you can create it. You need to provide an user ID which should be unique in whole GitHub domain, and that's it. And you need to provide one valid user ID and password. Okay. Now this one is my main page or my home page of my GitHub profile, and I am logged in with my DevOps Channel 23 user. So what I will do, so first understanding this, we won't be able to understand all of these things without creating a repo, right? So I will click on create repository. Now the first thing, you have a set of owners. So suppose if you have added the collaborators, you can create or add here. I will tell you how you can add the collaborators. Now here is the owner, which is myself. Now I will add my repo. So I will type GitHub test. Okay. Now in here I can add description about my repository, what is going to be, right? Now in here I can add whether this is going to be a public or private. If you will select public, so anyone can see this repository and anyone can clone or fork from this repository. We'll understand forking and cloning just in a bit. Now if you will select private, you only you can and the collaborator can see your repository. Okay. Now in here it is saying something like a add.readme file. Okay. So this is a kind of a special file which has extension of readme.md, small md. Okay. So it will be a special file in which they have supported some formatted option. So if you are giving star then some lines and then star, it will automatically bold it and it will make it more appearing. So you can add similar like the description. So the description is like one line, but if you have bunch of files in this repo and if you want to specify every files have what purpose, so you can add it in readme file. Okay. Now in here you have an option for add a .git ignore file. Now what is this file? So it will create a .git ignore file in which if you will select any file, so it will be automatically ignored by your Git compiler. Okay. So whatever changes, whatever compilation is going to be done, so Git will ignore it. Okay. So whatever you are performing on your Git repository, Git pull, Git push, Git status, Git add, so whatever the file name provided in .git ignore file, the Git will ignore it. Okay, so that's what Git ignore is made for. Okay, now here it's a choose a license, so you can choose any license from here if you want to choose it. Okay, and in here I will not select .add a readme file because this is a testing repository, and I will go ahead and create our repo. Now it will just a sec and it will create a file. Okay. Now here you have two options. So first one is to create a new repository on the command line itself and collaborate with GitHub and Git, right? Now second option you have if you push an existing repository from a command line. So we'll see this option also. So suppose if I have a code, so this one style.css, index.html and app.js. So I will push this my which is on my local machine to my GitHub repo. So I will use these commands. Okay. But if I have nothing else and if I am going to create everything from the beginning and by fetching the just created repos, so I will need to go through this command. So let's go through these command first. Okay, I will open my git bash and let's create one folder called mkdir git test folder. Okay, so I have created that. I will navigate to it. Git test folder. I will clear the terminal and I am inside my git test folder. Now here it is asking for creating a readme.md file, but I will not do that. What I will do, I will go ahead and create my own file. So in here I will type echo hello, this is my first file and I'm going to write it to my hello.txt. Okay. And as this is not a git repo, so if I will type git status, so it is not. So I will initialize my git repository. Now it has initialized. If I will type git status, so it will tell you that my hello.txt was modified. So first I need to add it to staging area and then I will need to commit it. Add hello file. Now once it done, so I am till here. Now in here and in here it is asking to rename our branch default branch to main. Okay, so GitHub has migrated their default branch to main, but in here I am using master, so I will need to rename it. So git branch option and main. So I have renamed my master branch to main. Okay, now what I can do in here, it is calling git remote add origin and then my URL. my repository URL. So let's understand this. What is it saying? It is saying please go ahead and add this URL as a remote repository for pushing or pulling the changes from to and fro this local remote to my remote. And it is calling remote repository because it is on a cloud. So it is the Git uses remote word. Okay. And now as this URL is too long, I am using origin as a word to pronounce it. Okay. So I am renaming this URL to origin. Okay. I'm hoping you're clear. So I don't have anything else. So I will copy the whole. I will go to git bash and I will paste it. So git remote add. So in my remote area, just add this URL and name it as origin. So once if I will hit enter, it has added. It does not give provided any output, but if I will type git remote option V, it will provide the options. So here is our origin and my URL, and it will be used for my fetch, and it will be used for my push. Right now we will see what is fetching and pulling in a bit. And if I will refresh it, so there is nothing else, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to put git push option U origin main. So I'm going to push my changes. So push, will learn more about push command in a bit also. Option U origin main. So what I am saying here, so this was origin, right? I am not providing the whole URL here. I'm just providing origin. Now what it is, so it will be the branch it is going to create on my GitHub repository on cloud. Okay. So it is saying that, hey, go ahead and push the changes in the upstream. So upstream is like, so you can think of it, this is a link connecting our local branch to a branch on GitHub. Okay. Now it is telling that, hey, push all the changes on my origin, which is this URL, and create a branch called main on that branch. Okay. So suppose if you have multiple branches, so what you want to do, you can provide option colon and then your current branch of your local repository. So here suppose if you are working on a branch called feature, so you can provide that. So what it will do, it will take feature branch from your local machine and it will push it to main branch on your GitHub repository. Okay, I'm hoping you are clear. So you can provide this way also, but I have only main, so it will push main to main. Now as I have already authenticated, it will not ask for any credential pop-up and it will push it. So now if you will see here, it is telling that main, my local main was pushed to my GitHub main, which was this one. Okay, now there was nothing else in here, and if you are doing it for first time, it will open a prompt for logging into your GitHub account. Okay, so keep in mind. Now if I will refresh my page, you can see that my hello.txt was pushed. Now what you can do, you can add more files. So what I will do, I will type echo, okay, echo one more line, and let's name it as demo.txt. Once it's done, I will type git status and it has detected. Now I will type git commit option am add demo. Okay, so first, oh sorry, first I need to add it, git add dot and then git commit option m and add demo. Now once it's done, I can push my changes. So git push option u, I don't need to provide option u again and again, and origin means my URL and which branch I want to put in, so I can use it main. Right now in here I don't want to push it in main. Let's create a new branch. Let's call it at feature and push my changes to feature. Okay, feature does not have any branch, so I need to create it, but for now let's push it to main branch itself. Now once I've done that, if I will refresh this page again, you can see my demo.txt is also pending. Okay, so this one was for first case, once if you don't have any repository, right? Now suppose if I have already one repository, so if I will navigate back and if I will navigate to my 2D canvas games, so it is already my git repo. Okay, so suppose if I want to push this to my GitHub account, so how I will do that? So for that I will go ahead and of course I can push it to my existing repo, which was that one, but let's create one more new repository. Okay, so I will go to a repo and let's create a new repo. I will name it as 2D canvas game, canvas game. I will add, I don't need to add anything else, and I will go ahead and create a repo. Once I will do that, now I have to use this option. Okay, so now I will add my origin as this URL, my new repository, right? So I am inside my 2D canvas game, nothing to commit. I will paste it. Now if I will check git remote option V. Now for this git repo, I have these are the remote setup. But on the earlier one, it was earlier the different URLs, right? So now this one will be used for my fetch and it will be used for my pull or push. Okay. Now I don't need to use this command because I already had renamed it to main. Now I can directly use git push u origin main. So I can use git push option u for upstream, origin and main. So it will take just a sec. It's done. And once if I will refresh it, now it has reflected my changes. So you can modify the changes and you can add it. Okay. Now let's understand some settings, some basic stuff, what you can do in here. First, you can modify your default branch. So you can edit it and you can rename it as master if you want to use it. And okay, so these are the pull requests, will come this one later. And here you should be aware of this. So this is a danger zone. So this one is public. If you want to change visibility to private, you can click on it. And the next one, you can transfer the ownership. You can enable your disable branch protection rule and you can delete this repository from here. Okay, you can also archive it. Now suppose if you have different collaborator working on it, so what you can do, you can add collaborators in here. Okay, so you can add, I don't have any collaborators for now, but suppose if I want to add my main account, so what I will do, I will click on add collaborators in here and I can give their ID and I can click on add to repository. So what it will do, it will send a mail to this user whatever you are going to add, and it has given the link that hey, DevOps channel 23 has invited you to be a collaborator of this repository so that you can also push the changes. Okay, so we'll also see that when we will be working on the pull request, so we will check that. Okay, and from here you can change the public repository to private one. Okay, so that was the basic of your GitHub. Okay, now let's understand git push fetch pull. So git push is, you have seen this, so it is for pushing your changes to the remote repository on GitHub, right? Git fetch and git pull are actually connected. The git fetch will fetch the updated stuff on your local git repo. It will not apply to the working area, right? While the git pull is more advanced. Once if you will pull any URL from GitHub repo, it will directly automatically modify it your working area. Okay, so here you can see that. So here is a working area, here is a staging area, here is a local repository, your Git local repository. Okay, and here is your GitHub, your remote repository. Now git fetch, what it will do, it will take from GitHub repository and it will apply to your local Git repo, but it will not make any changes on your working area, so that if you are working on any strict or in any critical work, you will not lose. But if you will apply git pull or clone, what it will do, it will directly apply to the working area and whatever work you have done, it will get lost. Okay, So keep in mind with the difference between git fetch and git pull. Now the another option you can push, that suppose if you have something else, so git push, and you can provide, so here it is a remote name, whatever remote name you have set up, right? So for me I have given my, so how you can check the remote name, and check the remote name as git remote option V. So you have all the remotes in here, and you can provide different remote with a different name. Okay, so here what is the syntax for git push? So git push, and then you have a remote name, right, which I will rename it as origin in here, and here it will be your GitHub branch. Okay, now another one is whether if you want to specify, so this one will be the branch on GitHub, right? But suppose if you have multiple branch on your local repository, so how you can do that? So I can do this push, and here I can type origin, and here on GitHub migrate it to main, but from my local repository take any feature branch. So you can do this also. So it what it will do, it will take the updation from the feature branch and it will push it to GitHub repository in my main branch. If you have another branch set up on your GitHub, so you can mention that too. So feature 2. So I am hoping you are clear with push. Now let's see the git fetch. For illustrating git fetch, what I will do, I will navigate back and I will go to my git test. Okay, I have git test folder. Okay, so I will go in here and same I will go to there, and I will go to my GitHub test directory. Okay, now in here we can also add some files from here too. So I will add file, create new file. I will added some important stuffs in my GitHub repo itself. Okay, once I will do that, and I will rename the file. So let's name it a file another stuff. Okay, and from here also I can commit the changes. It is giving me four options for commit changes. So okay, that's great for me, and I will click on commit changes. Now in here I have updated and I've added the file. I have added from my URL, GitHub URL. But suppose if you have multiple developer or multiple collaborator, they have added this file. Now we want to make sure that you have this file and also it does not destruct your working area. So I will type git fetch and then my origin. And what was my origin? Let's cancel this. So it was my this repo itself. Okay, so this was. So we'll type git fetch origin. So it didn't do anything, right? But if you will see the working area, it's same. But if you will check git status, it will tell you that your branch is behind to this branch, means my current working area, my this main branch on my local repo is behind of my origin main. What was origin? This one, and main means someone is added here by one commit. Okay, so what I can do, if I want you want to check it out, so you can check git checkout origin and then main. So it will go in detached head as we have already seen. And if you will type ls, so you can see that another stuff is came out, right? If you will also go ahead and check with git log option one line, you will have that one stuff create one other stuff from my GitHub to this one is reflecting, right? So this one is detached head. Now what I can do, I can go to my main branch and it will resolve. But to apply the changes, we will use git pull, which we will be explaining in a bit. Okay. So for now, what I will do, I will just revert it back. So I will git switch main. Okay. So it has switched main. I'm on my main, and if I will type git status, it's still saying that your working area or your local repository is still one behind, right? Now if you will see my working area, so it has only two folders. Now this time I will use git pull. Let's see what happens. So git pull basically works like as git fetch plus git merge. Okay, so I will type git pull, then my remote branch which is origin, and then my branch which is main, because I have only one branch in here and I have only one branch in here. Now if I will hit enter, now you might have seen that one plus was done, right? And it is telling that your main was attached to your head. Okay, now if I will list the content, you can see my working area was also changes in while I use git pull, but it was not in my git fetch, right? So I'm hoping you are clear with the difference between git fetch and git pull. Okay, now if I will type my git status, so it is in sync with my your branch is up to date with origin main. Okay, I'm hoping you are clear with git fetch and git pull. Now we are aware of some basic command: git push, git fetch, git pull, and we have also seen how you can create repository. Now let's move ahead. Now let's understand the more advanced concept which is used every time when you will use GitHub, which is forking and cloning, and what's the difference between them. Okay. Now on the overview, if I will try to illustrate you, so git cloning will actually clone, or it will create a copy of the original repository on your local repository. Okay, but if you will go, you can pull it, but if you will check for push, it will not allow to push it because it is owned by a different user, right? On the other hand, if you will use forking, so forking will create a copy of that repository for from another user to your account itself. It will create a similar copy on your Git repository, and you can take those changes and you can use it, you can push it, you can pull it, you can add another collaborator for it. So forking is for modifying your fork repository, and cloning is just like if you want to fetch it and if you want to learn more about it. Okay, I am on my
So
GitHub page now. I have this, I have my main account in open in here. Now let's go ahead and let's click on this one. Okay, so I have this page and I have this user, so I am logged in as my main user. Okay, now first let's understand the cloning. Okay, so what the cloning will do. So in here I have this GitHub repository which is Ansible roles. Now before cloning, you need to make sure that you are not in an existing Git repo. So if I will type git status, I am already in my Git repository, which I don't want that. So I will navigate back. I am in my downloads. I will create a folder Ansible demo. Okay. Now I will navigate to my Ansible demo. If I will type git status, it is not a Git repository, right? Now what I will do, as it is not an existing Git repository, I can clone this repo. Okay, so once if I will click on code, there is option whether you can clone, you want to clone it via HTTP or SSH or GitHub CLI. So I want to clone it via my HTTPS. So I can click on copy this URL. I can go ahead. I can type git clone and paste my URL. So once if I will hit enter, it is cloning, and you have seen that it has added my remote branch already, and it has added some stuffs in there. Now if I will list my contents from this directory, you have seen that it has created one file called Ansible roles. Now if I will navigate, so you can see that it might have already installed. Now if I will navigate to my Ansible roles, and if I will list the contents, I have all these files which I have in there, and I have just cloned it, right? If I will see the git status, so it has also built my Git repository itself. If I will check my remote, git remote option V, so it is my another account, right? And it will not allow me to push it because I'm not the owner and this user has not added as a collaborator. Okay, if I want to give access, I will go to the setting of this repository and I will add it as collaborators and I will give the access. Okay, so suppose if I want to add the collaborators, what I will do, I will use DevOps channel 23. So here is my account, this one. So let's give the collaborator permission. So I will click on this one. I will click on add DevOps channel. Now the collaborator was added. Now if I will go to my collaborator page and if I will go to in here and if I will open my Gmail or my mailbox, so it will give you that, hey, Sarvottam Singh 23 has invited you for this one. So I will go ahead and click on view invitation and I will click on accept invitation. Now I have this one as a collaborator and I can push the changes also now. But earlier when you had git cloned and you have not added any collaborator, you cannot push it, right? So now what I can do, let's make any changes. So let's create a file called touch empty file.txt, right? What I can do, git add dot git commit option m add empty file. Now once I do that, I'm going to push it to git push. First I will rename my branch. Okay, so git branch option m main. Now I'm going to push it to Sarvottam's repo. Okay, so git push origin, which is my this repo, and main or master. So here my GitHub branch is master, right? So if I'll go in here, so it is master. So I will go to this repo, and if you'll see, it is master. So in here, I will type master. So once if I will hit enter, okay, I think master is not matching. I need to type main, I think. Now once if I will do that, it has merged the changes, and if I will scroll it, so it has added my demo.file.txt, right? Okay, I think I need to check it. Okay, so now master branch has deprecated, so it has created one main branch and it has added my empty file.txt in here. Okay, so I'm hoping you have understood how you can push your changes to a different user using collaborator permissions. Okay, now let's see forking how it works. So I will go to my account and I will go to, let's say, Dockerize Maven. In here, I will click on fork. Let's see what forking happens. So forking will create a copy of this repository on my account repository, this one. And I can be able to push it, pull it, whatever I want to do it, it will do in my repository itself. So once I will click on fork, so it is telling what you want to take it. So done that and I will click on create fork. Once I did that, I am on my account DevOps Channel 23 and it has created the same repository. Now in here I am seeing another option that it was forked from Sarvottam Singh 23 and Dockerize Maven, my another account. Now this one is also my account. I can clone it and as this is my account, so I can do whatever I want. In the cloning you were not able to push the changes because it was your another user. You had to add collaborated permissions, but in here as it has forked, you can do any changes and you can push it. Okay, so I am hoping you are clear with forking and cloning techniques and how they are different from each other. To revise it again, cloning basically will just create a copy on from GitHub to local and it can be from any public repository from any user. But if you want to push it, you will need a collaborated permissions. While the forking will create a copy of of the another user's repository to your GitHub repository and you can clone it and you can do whatever you want to do in your repository itself. Okay, but if you want to push the changes to the main account, to the main user's account, you will need collaborator permissions also. Okay, now let's move ahead and let's see the ultimate pull requests. What are those? So they are very helpful in the organizations when there are multiple developer or collaborators are involved. So let's see this what it is. Now let's understand the pull request. So you might have remembered that from my main account, I have provided this repository, my GitHub repository access to my DevOps account, right? So I have provided collaborator permissions to it. Okay. So that was, so what I can do, I can go ahead and let's copy this URL. Let's copy this URL and let's go to my DevOps account. I will copy this and I will paste it. Now in here, what I can do, I can go ahead and click on add files. Okay. Now this is me, the DevOps account. And as I have added collaborator permissions to this account, so I can add files. So let's create add files to a main repository. I will go add main. I will click on add file and I will create new file. New file in Ansible. Of course, you will add a different kind of file. I'm just for illustration purpose, I am adding a text file. Provide contents, added new file. I will click on commit changes and just commit changes. Okay. Now in here, what you have done, you have modified two changes from this account, your devotional account, and now your organization has set up to don't allow to integrating to the main branch. First, what you will do need to do, you need to click on this one. So this one will compare the changes and you need to create pull request. So what is a pull request? Pull request will send a kind of gist. So these are kind of commenting or so the owner will comment it and review the changes and it will accept the pull request. So I can click on create pull request. You can add title and you can add it that hey servotum please accept my change to add new file in Ansible, right? And I can click on create pull request. Once I will do that, so in here I have option to merge pull request, but in organization they might have disabled for other collaborators. Only the main account will have access to the pull request. Now if I will navigate to my main account and if I will refresh it, so there is no pull request. If I will refresh it, so there is one pull request. I will click on main. So here it is saying that he has added empty file, he has created new file ansible.txt. I can see those also, what were changes, what, so this file was created. So I can go back and what I can do, I can click on merge pull request. I can click on confirm merge, right? I can click on hey, it was accepted and I can click on commit. So now this was done. Now you don't have anything on main, so you can delete the branch. Okay, so that's how pull request works. So I am hoping I was able to cover almost all the important topics covered in Git and GitHub. And if you want to learn more advanced about GitHub and Git, please navigate to my Git Advanced course for which I have provided the link in my descriptions. Okay. Along with it, if you want to learn about Linux or Bash, please go ahead and navigate to my channel and search for them. I will also try to provide the links in my description. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you all for joining with me. And I am hoping this was a fresher's journey or refresher journey was very helpful for you. If you do like my contents and if you do like my sharing, please subscribe to my channel. So as of now, I can see that 90% of the users, those are viewing, they haven't subscribed to my channel. So please subscribe it. And I am open for any suggestions. So please provide any suggestions in my comment box. Thank you all.